Right there, welcome back to L5 Star FC. And if you've noticed the same clothing as the England content, that will be up for you along with that video as well. I am delighted to announce I'm joined by Salah as we go over the Liverpool transfer news. Now, there is a little bit of news for us to cover and for us to keep you in tune with. Now, obviously, we will start from the goalkeeper situation. We'll start with Adrian. Obviously, let me get this report up to you, but obviously Adrian's going to be rewarded with a new contract. Caoimhin Kelleher is set to go out on loan. A bit of a controversial one, causing a little bit of uproar, it has to be said, on the whole idea of sending out a keeper who has been made mistakes. Adrian is purportedly closing in on agreeing to a new one-year deal with Liverpool. The 34-year-old joined the Reds in the summer of 2019 as covered to first-choice goalkeeper Alisson, and the Daily Mail is reporting that he's set to sign a new deal with the club. The Spaniard made 6 appearances in all competitions. I think I've got it here. 6 appearances, 6 starts, 540 minutes. And we've seen limitations in his performances, which is why people are causing uproar about it. What are your thoughts on, obviously, Adrian closing on this new contract and Caoimhin Kelleher coming out of the scene, going on loan?
Brother, why is this joke man even still at the club? Why is he even here? He should have been gone last summer. This guy's awful. The fact that we've offered him a new deal and Kelleher is going out on loan. Kelleher, of all people, he performed brilliantly against Ajax. Performed to the standards he needs to as a goalkeeper against Brighton. It's just mesmerising, man, that this guy is staying. Let me remind you, he's played 24 games for Liverpool. Guess how many mistakes he's made? 14 mistakes out of 24 games. You think that's normal for a goalkeeper? Even I can perform better than that. It's just silly that this guy is staying. As a third choice, I would have not minded it, because you have heard the youngsters say that Adrian is a very good leader figure and like he helps them get through the tough times. But with Kelleher going out alone and this guy is going to be our second choice, it's just no, it doesn't work for me. I want Adrian gone, and if Kelleher does go out on loan, my 2 keepers that I am looking at would be Aaron Ramsdale, if we can convince him to come, and Lucas Fabianski. I think West Ham are looking for a new goalkeeper, so I wouldn't mind them too. But let's just hope Adrian doesn't sign a new contract, man, because he's awful. Like I'd rather have Karius as a second choice. Karius is just overhated because of that Kiev fine, but he's not a bad keeper. He's miles better than Adrian.
Yeah, I agree. I think obviously Karius has got limitations to his game as well, but I feel we won't see as many mistakes as we do. Look, I mean, there's never a good backup goalkeeper. You have to have incredible depth to have a great goalkeeper. We look at Man City's Claudio Bravo for so many years. We see limitations to his game. You have the likes of Sergio Romero for Manchester United, Dean Henderson, the now Man United backup goalkeeper, or even David Gea. So there is always goalkeepers who are not going to be up to the scratch. But obviously we'll go to right back. Obviously Nico Williams set to. I think I've seen a report he could be going out on loan. And obviously with the Trent injury, Liverpool have got to dig deep. And Alsev Hizaj from Napoli, right back, an Albanian right back. Do you want to take this away, Salah? What do you feel about this prospect that's obviously been reportedly Liverpool linked with?
Yeah, I saw it was yesterday in the early mornings after the Trent injury, but yeah, he's a Napoli right back, I think. For backup, I haven't seen him play much, but he has been linked with Arsenal and Manchester United in the past, and I think they're still linked him right now. But let's be honest, I think he is better than Nico Williams. I think he's a good right back option. This journalist, I wouldn't say he's the most reliable, but there is some story to it, because there were not numerous, but there were a few reports. But I'd advise Michael Edwards, if I were to ever see him right now or in the next weeks, sign a backup right back, because you're going to need it next season. Because if Trent gets reoccurring problems with this squad, next season we're in deep trouble. Because we're going for the title season. We're going for the title, we're going for the Champions League, we're going for the FA Cup, we're going for the Carabao Cup. We cannot afford to play these little fringe players like Nico Williams. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but he's not to the standard that we should be playing. He's not to the standard that, say, if Trent goes and we're in a game against Manchester United that we need to heavily win. We cannot play Nico Williams, which is why we need to go. My top choice would be Zaki Chilik from Lille. I think he's had an absolutely great season with Lille winning the Liga title. I think maybe he's going to look for first team football. Another one would be Riedel Baku from Wolfsburg. I think he's excellent, but I doubt we would sign a backup right back, but hopefully we do.
Yeah, obviously there is also interest. Well, I'm really keen about expressing these fullbacks in Kostas Tsimikas and possibly buying a second right back. I do feel Nico, he's had a tough season. He does need fans, but I think he does have quality, he does have potential, he does need to be loaned out. It is very clear in his game. There is limitations like Adrian, which means that we need to send him out on loan. Kostas Tsimikas, I feel like I hope we haven't seen the best of him. Obviously, we need to see Kostas Tsimikas more, and that's reiterated by Robbo's dip in performance level over the course of the season, which just shows that we need to use that option and left back and right back. Obviously, we'll bring you centre back news. Obviously, if you didn't know, there is a video out on the channel with myself as we do a Canate news. Obviously, the deal was triggered with a £34 million or £36 million release clause was triggered. He's 22. 22. The deal goes to 2026 in June, and I feel like you're getting good value for money. He's a centre back. He's young, Champions League quality, French international. He's a good buy. Obviously, we will talk about that at a different point, but we'll obviously move into the midfield. Now, this is where it gets slightly interesting. Obviously, if you haven't heard, it has been big in the Liverpool story. Gini Wijnaldum is set to go to Barcelona. Obviously, Fabrizio Romano, the transfer guru, has said it's here we go. Obviously, with the likes of Sergio Aguero and Eric Garcia were announced a few days ago. It's expected that Gini Wijnaldum will be expected to be announced in a few days' time. Obviously, he did strike a verbal agreement, but obviously, do you think this is a good move for him? Which means, obviously, if one goes out, one's got to come in. If Bissouma has been scouted as one of Liverpool's possible targets for the midfield this summer, along with Yuri Tielemans. But we'll start on the Gini Wijnaldum stuff before moving on to who could be coming in. What are you saying on the Gini Wijnaldum stuff, and what would you like to say as part of the farewell to him, obviously going to Barcelona?
I think we all expected him to go to Barcelona. Of course, there was a contract with Barcelona last summer, £25 million deal. It never really materialised, but I think I wish Gini Wijnaldum the best of luck, and hope him and Memphis Depay also cook some shit up in La Liga, win La Liga, cook up with Messi and Aguero. So, yeah, that's a good move for him. In terms of the defence, I quickly want to say that I'm really happy that we got Konaté because he's an absolutely monster. I think he has the fastest speed for a centre-back. He clocked it, and that was against Kylian Mbappe. So, yeah, he's pretty fast, and I am pretty sad that we haven't triggered the release clause for Ozan Kabak because I think he was an amazing. He was good when he came to play, and I think he's one of the reasons we got top four. But enough about that. The midfield, 3 midfielders. I don't know if any of them are top targets. Bissouma scouted, not top list. Award available for 27 mil. He is one of the top targets for our midfield, and then you have Neuhaus as well. Klopp is a big fan of Florian Neuhaus, but Florian Neuhaus has expressed his desire to stay at Borussia Mönchengladbach come out of the year. So, yeah, and then Rodrigo de Paul, of course, I like him very much, but that deal doesn't look likely. I think he's preferring to stay at AC Milan or Inter. Of course, Fabrizio Romano did report that he could go to Inter. Inter, of course, not Inter. Atletico have made a €40 million bid, so that could look to be a bit low. But for me personally, the midfielder I would want is Bruno Gumaras from Lyon. I think he's absolutely fantastic in what he does, winning tackles, and his interceptions is actually very good. And he's also very good when he goes up the pitch. His passing completion is absolutely beautiful. I was just looking at the other day, 89%. It's absolutely great. And yeah, I think he's absolutely good, but I doubt that move will happen because I don't think there's been even a single link to him. But Yuri Tielemans would be perfect. But You know what Leicester do to Premier League teams, charge an extra £40 million on top. So we'll just have to wait and see. I think the club are going to try and get some deals done before the Euros, but let's see. Hopefully we make some good business in the midfield because that's a spot we really need to strengthen in.
Yeah, obviously you made some really good points there, and obviously to stick on with the Yuri Tielemans stuff. Reportedly, Liverpool transfer target Yuri Tielemans is apparently putting contract negotiations with Leicester City on hold. The Reds are being credited with an interest in the Foxes midfielder as a possible replacement for Gini Wijnaldum. But like you said, they do like to heap the price tag on these players. Obviously, that's how the football world has worked. But according to Eurosport, Leicester want to tie down Tielemans down to a new deal. The players put talks on hold until later in the summer. Now, according also to Leicester's most reliable journalist, there is a 30% chance that Leicester will stay. He will stay at Leicester.
It's a very reliable Belgian journalist.
Sorry, my bad. A very reliable Belgian journalist says that there is a 30% chance Tielemans will stay and 70% chance meaning he will leave. Obviously, indicating that it was a big chance that Tielemans is on the way out. The report goes on to say Tielemans is weighing up his options and waiting until Belgium's participation in this summer's European Championships are over to make a decision on his future, which does indicate that he's waiting until after the Euros. Obviously, there was some interest with Aouar earlier in the January transfer window, but that seemed to calm down. There's also a little bit of interest on Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain going out the other way. Apparently, Liverpool reportedly do not want to sell Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. That is according to Anfield Central, who claim the Reds have been approached by West Ham United regarding selling the midfield. It wouldn't be a bad move if he was to go there, but I still think we do have some quality out of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. The one I want to see going out, which is a player who does not, is like a packet of crisps, is Naby Keita. I just cannot see what we have left in him. I mean, he has an injury, and then during that injury, he suffers a hamstring injury. It's mad, bro. It's more frustrating now than you feel actually sorry for him. It's got to the point where it's like
he went through a rehab program. Played 10 minutes only to get a hamstring injury that basically ruled him out for the rest of the season. How do you go for a 3-month rehab program and get injured after only playing for nearly 10 minutes? I'm sorry, nah. I love the guy. His talent is absolutely exceptional, but I think it's Naby Keita's time to move on. And I just want to touch on the midfield again. Liverpool's priority is to get 2 midfielders. That's what we are trying to do, get 2 midfielders. But right now, one is the priority, but 2 is what the club are looking at. I just wanted to add that on. But most of this information is via LFC approved. He's a very reliable account on Twitter. So check him out. He's a very good source on Twitter.
Yeah, big up to yourself, Salah. Big up to LFC approved as well on Twitter. Obviously, sorry to crash the party, guys, but Mbappe, according to Fabrizio Romano's Here We Go podcast, there is currently no chance of Mbappe to come to Liverpool. Obviously, he did have interest in Liverpool before he actually met FSG when he was at Monaco over in Nice to try and discuss a move to the Premier League, but that never broke down after PSG took him away from our grasp. But obviously, he always has expressed his interest in Liverpool. But on the bright side, I thought maybe start with Mbappe, but go on to Sancho. There is a little bit of a glimmer of chance that Sancho could be coming to the Reds. And with Champions League football being certified for Liverpool next season, that could be a possibility. Now, there is rumours that he could go to Man United, but we want him at Liverpool. We feel that I think his growth at Liverpool would be I think he'd be more likely to win trophies at Liverpool with the likes of Van Dijk, Kanate, Gomez at the back, with Trent, Robbo. Hopefully we have that Napoli right back. Obviously, I don't think we need to sell Costas and keep Costas. Yeah. Then you have the midfield. Obviously, if Tielemans comes in, brilliant. I would much prefer him to the likes of the other options, Yves Bissouma. But I'd take Yves Bissouma as well. And then you have Sancho amongst the front 4. to create a front five really in Mane, Firmino, Salah, Jota, and Sancho. That'd be a very good front five, which would really give it headaches for Jurgen Klopp. But what are your thoughts on the Sancho link before we wrap up this transfer news show?
3 clubs: Liverpool, Manchester United, Chelsea. Manchester United have personal terms agreed from last summer when they were one step away from joining Manchester United. Chelsea interested, Liverpool interested. Okay. According to Mix2B on Twitter, also a very reliable account, he said there are 3 names at the top of the transfer list: Konate, Sancho, Aouar. Konate is done. Let's see Aouar and Sancho. I think Sancho will have to be. We have to fight for him because he. Just think of it, he was one step away from joining Manchester United. Manchester United will still have Sancho in their minds to get this deal done and get their right winger. So it's not going to be an easy deal. Of course, LFC Approved did come out earlier today and did tweet that saying that Liverpool are going to try to wrap up 2 deals. He doesn't know himself. He's just been given this information that they're trying to get 2 deals wrapped up, not fully completed, but personal terms agreed, everything before the Euro starts. Because I think this is very smart by the club as well, because to get deals done during Euros is pretty tough because your man could get stolen. So I think before the Euros is a good option. But enough of that. I think I'd love to have Sancho. Who wouldn't love Sancho?
Yeah, 100%.
There was another report a few days ago on Rafinha. There was, I think, a reliable Brazilian journalist. I'm not sure. England. I don't know how to say it, to be honest. The Brazilian name. He's ranked as pretty reliable on the Anfield Talk. He's saying that Liverpool are looking to submit a 32 million bid for Rafinha. Okay, as much as I know from what I've seen, that Klopp is a very big admirer of Rafinha, but the main factor is Leeds do not want him to go for a price less than £52 million. Leeds want that amount. Liverpool are only keen on offering £30 to £42 million, according to LFC Approved. So yeah, let's see how that deal goes. Of course, a spectacular player. If we cannot get Sancho, I would highly want to go for Rafinha because he's an absolutely skillful player. He would be a fantastic player to watch on the clock. And on the striker, if you don't quickly mind me saying, there's not a lot of names in the central forward position. Of course, in recent weeks, we've seen the links of Donyell Malen and Patson Daka. Donyell Malen is he looked at extensively from by Liverpool, according to ES Grimes, also a good account on Twitter. Check him out, check her out. But Patson Daka, there's been a lot of false reports on Patson Daka, is because right now the 2 Premier League clubs interested is Liverpool and West Ham. With West Ham front runners, because West Ham already contacted his representatives. But if you ask me, I think a move to RB Leipzig seems likely for Daka. Is because, of course, you have that Red Bull organization, and Julian Nagelsmann's leaving for Bayern, and Jesse Marsch is coming into RB Leipzig. And RB Leipzig do have an agreement if a striker does leave this summer, that Patson Daka will be the guy that they have to win. It's some sort of clues these Red Bull organization clubs have in. So on the striker position, there's nothing. Wingers, and there's something. Midfield, there's something. And don't think there's anything that's solid on the defense. And yeah. Oh, yeah. And on contract negotiations, Alisson back. Fabinho, Alisson have agreed terms to a contract. So has Virgil. And they'll sign contracts in the coming weeks. And announcement is in the coming weeks. Let's see how that goes.
Isn't Mo Salah amongst that as well? There's a report.
Yes. According to MTM, he is. MTM is also reliable. Go and check him out, of course. Good account. Yeah, Salah. But I think with Salah, we'll have to wait and see because that hasn't been confirmed by a big journalist. Fabrizio's confirmed Alisson, Fabinho, Virgil, but I don't think he's confirmed Salah yet. So we'll just have to wait and see. Let's hope we have a very good summer and we can go and compete for every trophy next season.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Top quality knowledge on the transfer news, as always, mate. But obviously, That's a wrap to obviously the transfer news show. Leave down your comments down below who you'd like to bring in. Give 2 players you'd like to bring in, 2 players you'd like to see on the other way, and obviously we will look at those comments and reply to you. But obviously smash the like on the video only if you enjoyed the content that we did. But this is a banger of a video, so I recommend that you do that, and obviously share it to your mates, hit that subscribe button, and we will be rinsing the content to you over the next few weeks with the Euros, the pre-season, and ahead of what Virgil van Dijk said is the comeback season. Come on, you Reds. Let's hope for a really good season next season, successful on and off the pitch with signing these good players, getting these good players tied up to good deals and good contracts. But I'm your boy Alid, and this is my boy Salah, and we'll see you soon. I walk alone.